My media product fits into the indie pop genre. When choosing my song, I did research into other music videos from the indie pop genre. I found that many indie pop music videos are more abstract than music videos from the pop genre, giving it the indie style. I also found that indie pop music videos are all very different in their style. I found a style that I liked in the music video for Breeze Blocks by Alt J and Tongue Tied by Group Love. The use of reverse and slow motion really intrigued me as a way to tell the storyline. I used lighting whilst filming in a dark room to give it more of a nighttime tone. As I could not use lighting for outdoor shots, I had to film the shots during the day and then edit them afterwards in order to make them appear to have been set during the early evening. I also used overlay in some shots to create an idea of mystery beyond the storyline. During the performance shots, I used overlay to create a fantasy and fame style. The mise-en-scène I used helped build on the storyline. The shots of the couple walking through the woods and cuddling on the sofa portrays the idea of romance. The use of the knife portrays the opposite, danger. This gives two contrasting sides to the storyline. Finally, whilst filming, I tried to come up with shots that look good in reverse, such as the dropping of the knife and the water being thrown. Within the album cover, I decided to use photographed images from the music video. Originally, I was going to use hand-drawn images to challenge the typical indie album cover, but I eventually decided that as my song is an indie pop song and not just simply an indie song, I decided to add in aspects of a typical pop album cover. Typical indie pop album covers such as Born to Die by Lana Del Rey and If You Want by London Grammar are both very similar to my final album cover. The use of photographic images with slight graphical editing on the London Grammar album cover conforms to typical indie pop album covers. My album cover uses very similar features to the London Grammar album cover. The use of overlaying the photographic image over the image of the city in the background gives it a very contrasting tone in comparison to the music video. I also used the same image of the city in the inside of the album as well as the back cover. Indie pop album covers are typically simplistic with minimal detail, and my album cover uses simple and minimalistic ideas to develop a genre. I feel that my ancillary texts link well with my main media product. For example, my magazine advert uses the sea as its background, which links with the overlay of water in the music video. After finishing my preliminary edit of my media product, I got feedback from my teacher. I got quite positive feedback, but he also told me what parts I could improve. After getting feedback from my teacher, I also looked for feedback and criticism from general members of the target audience. I asked people that I knew what they thought of the video and what I could do to improve. I found that some of my original shots lacked quality and weren't still enough. I decided to film these shots again. After replacing the bad quality shots with new ones, I found the overall video had improved a lot. I also found that the performance shots were slightly unconvincing, so I decided to film those shots again but with a few different angles to change it up and make it more interesting. In my preliminary edit, I originally filmed the outdoor shots at night, but after looking back at them, I realised that the shots were too dark and the street lights made them appear bad quality. When refilming the other poor quality shots, I decided to also refilm all the outdoor shots again, but whilst it was still light so that I could edit the shots later on to make them appear to look darker. Overall, the feedback I received, both positive and negative, helped me to achieve a good standard across all of my media products and ancillary texts. The first thing I did when starting the A2 coursework was my textual analysis. I chose to analyse This Is Gospel by Panic at the Disco, which is of the indie alternative genre. After finishing the textual analysis, I ended up choosing a song from the linked genre, the indie pop genre. One thing I did differently when editing my main media product to my textual analysis was I decided not to use Sony Platinum Studio 12 editing software, but instead I decided to use iMovie on my MacBook Pro, as I find it easier to use and easier to understand, and I also used to using it. Also, whilst filming my main media product, I decided to film using an iPhone 5S. As I have a MacBook, it is much easier to transfer files from an iPhone to a MacBook than through an SD card. Other technologies I used consisted of extra lighting for indoor shots. I used a fluorescent barn door studio light by an Italian company called Lupo. This helped give my shots more of a white light effect than the average lighting in a house. I also used an archive footage website to find useful overlay shots. I used Vimeo to upload my final textual analysis to avoid any copyright issues on YouTube, and later decided to upload my final music video onto the website.